speak close to your mouth.
Then Ajahn, I would like to ask about your understanding on the teaching of middle way, and how should we put it into our present practice.
The middle way means whatever is appropriate for you. See, you have so much strength, you can do only so much. If you try to do more than you can do, you will not be able to do it. And if you do less than what you should do, then you are not moving forward fast enough. Like walking Chongkom, see how many hours can you walk. See, you can only walk so long. Once you can no longer walk, then you should stop. Don't try to set up a standard that you cannot achieve yet. So this is what it means by the middle way. Middle way according to your ability. Middle way according to your defilement. If your defilement comes strong, you should react strong. If your defilement come on soft, then you react softly. Appropriate for your defilement. So this is another meaning of middle way. So you have to keep adjusting your practice to suit your situation. Let's put it that way. Sometimes you need to be heavy. You have to put in as much effort as possible. Sometimes you don't need to push yourself so hard. Then you can take it easy. But basically, the middle path means to stay with the 5 Dhamma, the 4 Dhamma, meaning mindfulness and exertion. You should exert by developing mindfulness. And once you have strong enough mindfulness, you should sit and develop samadhi. Once you have attained or developed samadhi, you got jhana, then you should develop wisdom by contemplating on the 3 characteristics of existence, contemplating on asubha, contemplating on the repulsive nature of food, to get rid of your desire. So this is what it means by the middle way. Don't practice other things. Try to develop sati, mindfulness, samadhi, and panya. This is the way, the middle way, the middle path. And develop it according to your ability. Not too much and not too little. Do it as much as you can. The Buddha compared to the stringing of a violin. When you string the violin, if you string it too tight, it can break. If you don't string it tight enough, it will not make a good sound. So you have to find the right amount, how much you should stretch the string.
Okay.
Is that clear enough for you?
Clear. Thank you.
Okay. Because sometimes if you try so hard and you cannot get your result, you can become discouraged. So you should say that right now you don't have enough strength to achieve the result. So you should be patient and come and develop the thing that will make you get the result. Maybe your mindfulness is not strong enough yet, so you should come back and develop more mindfulness. Okay.
จากคุณโอลิเวียครับ
Bonjour Olivier from Paris.
Bonjour ท่านอาจารย์ ท่านอาจารย์ say we must be mindful in every activity we do all day. How we have to be mindful? For example, do we have to repeat I brush my hair during the time we brush our hair? Or do we have to look at the action closely? Or do we have to repeat Buddha whatever action we do. What kind of techniqueท่านอาจารย์ use?
It depends on how strong your mindfulness is. If you try to watch what you do, but your mind still go think about something else, then you might need to repeat something to bring it back. Repeating, brushing my teeth, using a mantra, Bhutto, Bhutto, to bring your mind from thinking about other things back to what you do. But if you can watch what you do and it stay with what you do, then you don't need to repeat anything, recite anything. It depends on your mind, your ability to concentrate.
My first question is...
Louder, speak louder.
My first question is, during my sitting meditation, when the mind start to get concentrated, lately the image that appear becomes scarier and scarier, like being killed or slaughtered. So when it appeared, the mind was quite frightened, and it takes some time to settle down and until it can continue the meditation. So how to overcome that?
Because you're not concentrating on your meditation object. You should always stick to your meditation object. If you use mantra, just stick with your mantra. Don't stop. If you use your breath, just keep watching your breath. Don't go anywhere else. As soon as you go someplace else, then your mind will start to create all these things to scare you, to distract you. So you should come back right away to your meditation object. Keep concentrating on your meditation object. If you use your breath, just keep watching your breath. If you use mantra, just keep reciting the mantra. Don't pay attention to those phenomena that's happening at that time. They are just delusion. They are illusion. They are not real. They cannot do anything to you.
Okay. My next question is how to overcome perfectionism and always wanting to have a good self-image, and what is the cause of that?
Self-delusion. There's no self. There's no you. So you just tell yourself, ask yourself, where are you? Are you in the body? Which part of the body is you? If you get rid of that part, will you disappear with that part of the body? If you think your hair is you, when you get rid of your hair, will you disappear? You can go through all the 32 parts of the body, and you will come to the realization that there is no any part of the body. They are not you at all. It's just your perception, your delusion to claim the body to be you. So once the body is you, you want to make it nice, make it look good. When it doesn't look nice or good, you feel no confidence. You see. And anything in this world, no matter how good you make it, eventually it will turn bad, because that's the nature of thing in this world. Nothing lasts, nothing is permanent, nothing remains the same all the time. Everything will eventually decline and be something not worth looking at, such as your body. So you should use wisdom or insight to correct your delusion, to tell you that there is no self in anything. The mind is just the mind, the one who knows, who thinks, and it's not you either. It's just one who thinks, and it just happened to think wrongly, think delusionally. Then you can get rid of this problem.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, your brother.
Ajahn, I would like to ask, when lustful sexual thoughts keep arising in the mind during the practice, what should we do about it?
If you have strong mindfulness, you can stop it by reciting a mantra. Don't think about those things that makes you lustful, those images. Or if you can develop a supa, the repulsive aspect of the body, such as the 10 corpses or the 32 parts of the body. You should reflect on those images. Think of the 10 corpses. Think of when the body dies, when it first dies, then it becomes bloated, then it becomes decay and so forth, until eventually all that is left of the body are just a skeleton. Or you can look inside the body and see the part hidden under the skin. You can look at the skeleton, look at the lungs, look at the heart, look at the intestines, look at the liver, look at the kidneys, look at the brain. Then when you look at these parts of the body, your lust will disappear. Okay. If you cannot look, then it's time for you to start looking at it, because usually you don't like to look at these things. So when you need it, it won't come up. See? So you have to force yourself to look at this part of the body, the unsavory part and the unattractive part of the body. You have to learn to look at asupa. We have been programmed to look at only the supa. We only have been programmed to look at the beautiful looking body. We have not been programmed to look at the unattractive body. We have aversion for them. We have to overcome this aversion by reminding us that this is the tool that will help us get rid of our lustful cravings. Okay?
Thank you. Ajahn, after following your advice to visualize internal organs or skeleton towards lustful image, it has decreased significantly and it is much less disturbing right now. The thoughts that has been disturbing recently is about the future, like what I want to do after this, when I back home, ideas, work, and I try to walk it through Chongkom because I cannot make it rest during sitting, but it still keeps going on. How should I do about it?
If you think about the future, you should think to the ultimate future. You know what your ultimate future is? Death. You have to think, if you want to think of the future, you have to think about death. Once you know that eventually you're gonna die, then what you're gonna do in between doesn't matter so much. You just do what you can. But no matter what you do, how good you do it, how bad you do it, eventually you're gonna die. So it's not that important to do anything. The real important thing that you should do is practice meditation, because that is the most beneficial thing for you. Other things, they are just temporary benefits. Once you die, then it's all disappear. So it doesn't matter what you do. What really matters is you should meditate. You should practice Dhamma, because that really counts. That really makes you better, makes you happier forever. Okay?
Okay.
Once you think like this, then you can come back to the present and concentrate on your practice. Don't worry about the future. Cross the bridge when you come to it. Right now you're not there. Don't think about it. Think about it when you get back home. What you have to do, then you'll see what to do. Because no matter how well you plan it here, When the time you get there, things might change and you don't probably won't do what you plan anyway. So improvise, try to improvise. Don't try to be rigid. Don't be fixed with the future, because the future is not certain. You have to improvise and adapt to the future when it comes. Right now, just don't worry about it. Try to make your present enjoyable and happy.
Okay. One more question. Lately, I follow the rhythm of my feet while walking, while at the same time I recite the mantra, and likewise during sitting also. Sometimes the recitation of the mantra follow the rhythm of the breath. Am I doing it correctly, or what should I do?
As long as you can stop your thought, then it's okay.
Okay.
If you don't think about this and that, don't think about the future, don't think about the past. Just be aware of the present. Be aware of your breath, be aware of your walking. And if you want to use a mantra to help maintain this, you can use it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You want to ask some questions?
Yes.
Okay, please. Can you talk through the microphone?
We'll stop through
Yeah, just take the microphone and put it close to your mouth. Yeah,
like this.
closer.
Okay. Ajahn, I would like to ask, how can we instill mindfulness in our daily life? Because from my personal experience, when I go for retreat, usually the level of mindfulness is good after staying in retreat, but when you come back to the daily life, to reality, when you go back to work, I do have a rather challenging, demanding work, sometimes long hours, so I don't really have much time to meditate as much as I do during retreat. So I find that my mindfulness level, I really can't maintain that same level as I used to have during retreat. So what would Ajahn advise? How can we instill a good level of mindfulness as we go about our job, and keep the defilements at bay and sustain that mindfulness apart from retreat?
It's not quite possible, because the daily life doesn't encourage you to be mindful. So you need to go have more retreat. What you can do is try to reduce down the amount of work you have to do. The way to reduce the amount of work is to reduce the expenses you have to spend. See, the less you spend, then the less you have to work to make money. So this is the only way to do it. You have to scale down your expenses. Only spend on the essential, on the necessities, like the 4 living requisites, and then trying to cut down the other expenses. Then you won't have to work as hard, as much. Then you would have more time to go to a retreat. Then eventually you can practice almost full time, because the more you practice, the more content your mind will become. The less desire and cravings you will have. Then there will be no need for you to have lots of money, no need for you to have lots of friends. You can live alone by yourself and be happy. So eventually you will then be free to have all the time for your practice. You have to scale down on your daily activities, on your way of life. You have to try to switch your way of life from engaging, from socializing, to be more alone. So this is what you have to do. If you cannot do it suddenly, some people can do it suddenly. They give up everything and they just go to live in a monastery. But if you cannot do that, then you have to scale down on your on your expenses. Try to spend less. When you spend less, then you don't have to work hard. You don't have to work to get more money. You can work and have less money. You can do less work because you don't need to have as much money as before. Then you will have time to go on your retreat. Some people switch their profession from a regular job 5 days a week to become an independent salesman, selling insurance or selling whatever. That doesn't require that you have to go to work every day. You can choose the time to work, but you have less income. So if you want to have more time, then you have to work less. In order to work less, you have to spend less. Okay.
Ajahn, can I ask another question?
Yeah.
Is it true that when they say in order to enter the stream, is through listening Dhamma?
You need Dhamma talk. You need the wisdom of the Buddha, plus your stable mind. You need samadhi. You have to have the fourth jhana in order to apply the Buddha's wisdom to get rid of your defilements. So you need them both. You need samadhi and you need panya, wisdom.
That means we have to meditate also and not just listen to Dhamma talk alone.
Because Dhamma talk is only half of your tools. The other half is samadhi. If you haven't have samadhi, then you will not be able to use the Dhamma talk that you listen to get rid of your defilements. But if you already have samadhi, when you listen to Dhamma talk, then you can get rid of your defilements. You need both. You need samadhi and you need vipassana or insight or wisdom.
Not just by listening alone.
You have been listening for a long time. What have you got? You can listen, you know what to do, but you cannot do it. You have to give up your desire, and you cannot give up your desire because you don't have the strength. Your mind is not strong enough to resist your own desire, your own cravings. Even though you know craving is bad for you, can bring you suffering, but you still cannot resist doing according to your cravings, your desire. But if you have the samadhi, then you will have the strength to resist your cravings and desire. Then when you know that craving and desire is bad for you, then you just don't do it. See, for a stream enterer, he has to see that the craving for life is dangerous to the mind. The craving to live, the craving to let the body live and not get old, get sick and die. This is the craving that makes you become attached to your body, keep you coming back to rebirth again and again. But if you can see that by being attached to your body through your cravings, it is bad for the mind, then all you have to do is stop this craving, leave the body alone, let the body get old, get sick and die. Once you can do that, then your mind will not be disturbed by whatever happens to the body. The mind then enter into the stream for Nibbana. You have to get rid of your desire, your attachment to your body. Because regardless of whether you have attachment or desire toward your body or not, your body is gonna still get old, get sick and die anyway. But the difference is in your mind. If you're not attached to your body, then your mind will be peaceful and happy, even when your body get old, get sick or die.
So if in order for us to reduce the attachment or not to have attachment is through the practice of samadhi.
Yes, samadhi and the practice of living alone. You have to abandon your family, your friend. You have to cut off the external people first before you can cut off your body. You have to cut off your attachment to other people's body first before you can then cut off your attachment to your own body. So you need to go live alone in seclusion, solitude, so then you will be able to strengthen your mind, to have samadhi, to resist your craving, your attachment. Okay?
Okay, thank you, Ajahn. Thank you.
So you have to change your lifestyle. Spend less, buy less, buy only what you really have to buy. Okay.
In my meditation, I've reached a point where all the time I can't feel my body. Like I just feel it as kind of energy, like it's not solid anymore. And I'm just wondering, where should I keep my awareness? Like just with the breath constantly?
If you can still watch your breath, you should continue on watching your breath. It means your mind is withdrawing from the body, but not completely yet. You want to go until to the point where the mind becomes perfectly still and perfectly at ease, has no reaction toward the body, if the body is still in your awareness. But sometimes if you enter into deep concentration, even the body will disappear from your awareness. And all you have left is just like empty space and the one who knows. That's where you want to go, because that's where you will find peace and happiness and strength of your mind, which you can use later to counter your defilements with the application of the wisdom of the Buddha, which we call insight. Then you can then eliminate all your craving and desire that way. First you need to have a strong, stable mind, and plus the knowledge that everything that we crave for is harmful to the mind, not helpful to the mind, not beneficial to the mind. We should abandon, we should give up everything. Okay. Go on.
So my normal practice for many years was to watch Vedana, and especially unpleasant, like pain, numbness in the legs that would arise. And now still it can arise after 1-2 hours sitting.
Yeah.
Do I watch that and I watch how it changes?
You should watch it and see they change. This is their nature. They're not constant. They're not the same. They can change from painful to less painful and not painful. What you should watch more is your reaction to them. You should not react to them in whichever way. You should just be an observer and not a reactor. Just leave the pain alone. Let the pain be, by using the teaching of the Buddha that teach you to separate the mind from the pain. The mind and the pain is two separate things. The pain belongs to the body. The mind just watch the pain, just being aware of the pain. And the mind can be peaceful and calm and not disturbed if the mind has no desire or craving to get rid of the pain. But as soon as you have any desire or cravings to get rid of the pain, then your mind will be agitated and restless and troubled. So this is what you want to do, to protect your mind, to keep your mind still and not disturbed, by not creating any desire toward the pain that you are aware of. This is what you have to do. You have to understand the nature of pain. They come and go. They are not under your control. You cannot tell them to come or go away when they do. So the only thing you can do is just to observe, just to be aware and leave them alone. Then your mind will not be hurt. Your mind is only hurting yourself by desiring for the pain to change or to disappear.
I've seen how I can wait. I can watch it until it disappears. the
Yeah,
pain.
okay,
Yeah.
that's fine then. This is just a practice. What you want to do in real life is anything, any kind of pain, you should leave them alone, see. Pain from hunger, pain from getting a cut or something like that. You should always train your mind just to be aware and not to react. If you can do this, eventually then no pain can affect your mind. You can get sick and you can still be happy, be peaceful and not disturbed. That's the goal. What you do in your meditation is just like doing the homework, so that when you meet the real test, then you can pass the test by not being disturbed by those pain that come up. Okay. Go on.
Sorry, one last one.
Any more you like?
So I've been watching the Vedana and the changing nature of pain, how it travels, it moves, sensations that come and go. But lately I've been learning to get into jhanas, I need to move the body, to change it, to allow it to be comfortable enough to disappear. So I've torn between watching the Vedana.
As soon as you move your body, you're restarting your practice. You reset your meditation. So you should not move your body. Once you start it, leave the body alone and try to concentrate on your breath. If you find concentrating on your breath is difficult, maybe you want to use the mantra to help you. It might be helpful there. Sometimes when the pain becomes strong, you cannot watch your breath, and you can try to use a mantra to help. Just reciting mantra, Bhutto, Bhutto, or Anicca, Anicca, any kind of mantra. That will keep your mind from craving, from desiring, from reacting to the pain. Once you can do that, then when there's no craving or desire, then the stress or the restlessness and the pain in the mind will disappear, and you'll feel peaceful in the midst of the pain. You will not be disturbed by the pain. Because what really disturbs the mind is not the pain, but your craving, your desire to get rid of the pain. That's what you want to get rid of. So if you cannot get rid of it, then you need to use a mantra. Because you cannot have desire to get rid of your desire. They become more intense. So the only way is to ignore your desire, ignore the pain, and concentrate on something like your breath or your mantra. Then eventually those desires will disappear, and then your mind will become peaceful. Even if the pain doesn't disappear, it will not bother you. Okay? Any more? Go on. So what you do in meditation is just doing the homework. What is important is in real life, when you, in your daily life, when you have to face pain or bad feeling, not through the pain itself, but through what you see or what you hear. It's the same thing, it's still considered feelings, right? You can get painful feeling without getting painful body pain, but by seeing something you dislike, it can make you have a painful feeling already. So you have to know how to deal with them, just like the way you deal with the painful feeling of the body. By leaving them alone, by saying there's nothing it's not your business. If you see some cruelty, it's not your business. If there's anything you can do, do it. I'm not saying you shouldn't do anything to help people, but if it's not within your ability to do or help, then you just have to just to be aware and let it happen. This way, it will not create any bad feeling inside your mind. Okay.
It's my understanding that pain or discomfort that arises is like sankharas or like past karma that's coming to the surface. Is this the correct way to?
Sometimes it's the present karma. You create it on your own. When you feel something uncomfortable, you react by your cravings. You want to get rid of that discomfort. And if you could not get rid of it, then you feel worse than before. But if you accept that sometimes you cannot get rid of your discomfort, you just have to live with it, then you're not creating additional discomfort in your mind. And your mind can live with the discomfort.
I find I can watch for quite a while, and even the pain can be very strong, and my mind is quite still. I can get to the point now where I can see it through to where it all just dissolves and disappears.
Yeah, because you still have desire toward those pains. See? Even though you can live with it, but you deep down inside you still don't want it. So you have to change your attitude by looking at the truth of the nature of the pain itself, that it is something that you have to live with as long as you have a body. And so if you understand this truth, that you can never be rid of the pain. So in order to be able to live without having any problem with your pain is to embrace it, accept it. It's part of life, part of your existence, part of your being, as long as you have a body. The only way not to have any more pain is not to have a body. Then you have to abandon all your cravings. Your craving for sensual gratification, craving for being, and craving for not being. Then you will stop rebirth. Once there is no rebirth, then there will be no pain anymore. All right? Okay.
Ajahn, I would like to ask what caused our mind that in one day it can be easily practiced, it's quite tame, it can resist desire quite easily, and maybe one day after it becomes so wild, it creates a lot of disrespectful thoughts, and you become being knocked out by the defilements helplessly. And what should we do when the day that is a difficult one arises?
The reason why your mind go changing from good to bad is due to the fact whether you have mindfulness or not having mindfulness. On the day that you have mindfulness, your mind will be behaving. On the day without mindfulness, then your mind will be misbehaving. So you have to maintain mindfulness at the same level as much as possible. As soon as you stop maintaining mindfulness, then your mind can start to misbehave. So on the day that your mind is not under your control, it means you don't have mindfulness. So you have to restart your mindfulness right away. Start to recite the mantra right away. You just keep reciting mantra just for a few minutes, and then your mind will come back to normal again. Don't try to reason or anything. The more you reason, the more you think, the more agitated, the more restless you become. So don't try to reason with your mind. Try to tame it with mindfulness, with a mantra. As soon as your mind becomes restless, agitated, don't ask why. Don't try to find the reason. The more you try, the more it becomes agitated, because you don't have enough wisdom to do it yet. Right now, the only thing you can do is to use mindfulness.
Another question. I found that the day when the mind becomes wild, 2 days before, I gradually switched to observant of bodily movement and breathing, and I experienced quite calmness. I mean, the sitting session becomes more enjoyable. Am I being led by a false calmness and I lose my mindfulness, or should I just stick to mantra? And
it depends. If you can use other method and still maintain your mind to be calm, then you can do it. But as soon as you can no longer use it, then you should come back to your mantra.
Okay. Thank you.
Sometimes once you use the mantra, you make the mind become mindful, and you can stop using the mantra for a while. But after you stop it for a while, then your mind start losing mindfulness. Then you have to come back to your mantra again. You don't have to use all the time. Use it when you feel that your mind is not under your control. If your mind is still under your control, you don't need. You just observe it. You can observe it. But as soon as it begins to be uncontrollable, then you have to use your mantra.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Ajahn.
Siddhartha, you got question? Okay.
Ajahn, certain physical illness usually comes arise during practicing, and sometimes it burdens me to worry about it. But if I don't really take care, it might also cause harm in the long term. How should I respond to this kind of reaction?
Well, if it is physical fitness, illness that needs to be taken care of, then you should look after. But if it's just arises during your meditation, then this is not real physical illness. It's more induced by your defilement. Then you should ignore it. But if it happens all the time, even whether you're meditating or not, then you have to go see a doctor, someone to take care of it. But if it only happens when you meditate, then this is defilement. You should ignore it. Just say, well, after you finish your meditation, it will be well again.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
My first question, what kind of karma would Ajahn advise to a mother who had done an abortion due to her ignorance in the past?
What kind of result that will happen to her?
At the time, it was due to health reason.
Uh-huh.
So she did an abortion.
Yeah.
So in this time, knowing that there will be a karmic consequences, what will Ajahn advise for her?
Just prepare to accept the consequence. That's all. You cannot avoid. You cannot prevent it. If it's gonna happen, let it happen.
Okay. And my second question about your talk a few weeks ago about Brahma Vihara, and Ajahn mentioned about how to practice metta by smiling, by being nice to other people. But when we are doing practice to build our mindfulness, how should we treat socializing and talking like this?
You just then have to stop socializing. You are on a different level. If you're practicing, then you'll be most of the time alone. So you don't need to use metta. You only use metta when you come into contact with people or animals. If you see them, you should not hurt them. So when you practice, you tend to develop more upekkha. But you have to know the right time to do it. If you happen to run into people, at least you should say hello or smile or whatever, and then continue on with your focus on your mindfulness. But you don't have to be socializing with them. Just to let them know that you are uh, not not doing this because you are developing mindfulness. So you cannot socialize or talk. But you have to just a little bit,
Okay.
just to maintain courtesy. You don't want to make people feel bad because you don't say hello to them or greet them or anything like that. But you don't want to carry on a conversation unnecessarily. Unless there's something to say or talk, then you can do it. But if there's no reason, then you should come back and focus on your mindfulness.
Okay. My last question is about another talk of you about anatta. In the scripture, it is expressed as sabbe Dhamma anatta. I don't really understand why it is expressed differently with the other characteristic like sabbe sankhara anicca or sabbe sankhara dukkha.
See, Dhamma means everything. Everything that we see, we hear or touch, anything, they are all Dhammas. But Dhamma can be divided into two categories, Sankhara and non-Sankhara. Sankhara means the things that are combined, such as the body or the trees. They are combined there by the four elements. They are made up by the four elements. So they call sankhara. They have to be combined in order to become something else, like the body or the trees or the plants. These are sankhara. They are a combination of the four elements. With human, then it's the five elements. Besides the earth, water, fire, and wind, air, then there is the mind element. These are sankhara. When they combine, they will separate eventually. When they separate, we call it anicca. Sappe sankhara anicca. They're not permanent. And by the virtue of separation, it causes dukkha in the person who attached to these things. See? But the third one, the Buddha says, sabbe dhamma anatta. He means everything, sankhara or non-sankhara. What are the non-sankhara? The four elements are the non-sankhara. They always remain the same. They don't combine. In itself, they are not made up of anything. The earth is only made up of the earth. The water is only made up of water. So they are called asankhara. They are non-sankhara, which is another Dhamma. Dhamma means things, everything in this world. Things that are built up and things that is not built up. So these are. So when he talks about anatta, he has to refer to everything, not just sankhara. Non-sankhara also is anatta, such as the water element, the earth element. There's no self in those things either.
How about the mind element? Is it also anatta as well?
The mind is also, there's no self in the mind. It's just another element.
So right now when still practicing, the mind is uncontrollable. Sometimes it's happy, sometimes it's sad. But when someone has finished the practice and become enlightened, what happens? Is the mind become controllable, or it is still the same, the nature?
The mind understand all the things and then leave everything alone.
Oh, okay.
And the mind is not disturbed by anything because the mind doesn't have any desire toward them. The mind is still the mind. Now it's the mind. The mind is intelligent, it's smart. It knows what to do with everything else. So it doesn't create any dukkha, suffering, or any birth. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Emil, to which extent how much we should speak out and do our actions when we see something wrong by others in our working system, especially when we are directly or indirectly responsible and involved in that working system. For example, if I see any corruption or any abuse of power or something wrong by my colleagues or boss in my job, which is also affecting my working position and reputation, what should I do? Should I stand up and speak out, knowing that in most cases I will lose my job and will face hard time?
Well, it's the decision you have to make. You can speak up and then take the consequence, accept the consequence, or you can just shut up, keep silent, and let things be. So it's not a matter of right or wrong here. It's a matter of which choice you like to take, which choice you like to make. You want to speak up, you can, but you have to also accept the consequence of your action. If you don't speak up, then there's no consequence of your action.